Full disclosure, the voice you are listening to now is artificially generated, brought to you by satisphonic.com. See the link in the description for more details. What's the worst response to "you're under arrest"? No, I'm under the influence. Officer, I am way too drunk to get out of my car and into yours right now. Any drugs or alcohol? No thanks, I've had plenty. Am I high on drugs? No, officer, I find myself to be quite low on them at this juncture. To serve and provide? High are you? No, officer, it's high, how are you? Office, honester, I haven't dropped a drink. Why am I under arrest? Have you been drinking? Your eyes look red. Have you been eating donuts? Your eyes look glazed. My buddy actually said this to a cop once. We got to sit in the back of a patrol car for an hour at 2 a.m. Honestly, it was worth it. Guy looked like he was going to have an aneurysm, while the other cop tried really hard not to laugh. Thanks, you too. No, I'm a sovereign citizen, and you are overstepping your authority. Because of maritime law or something. We had a sovereign citizen go to prison yesterday. He didn't see it coming at all. He always comes to court like, ha. Checkmate. I'm sure he was shocked his nonsense didn't work. I'm starting to think that their nonsense is made with the intention of making cops, judges, and prosecutors want to give up and just let them go. I briefly worked as a public defender in a semi-rural county, and whenever I'd get assigned to these guys, I'd be like, if you think you can handle this better than I can, then go ahead, knock yourself out. They were usually charged with your Qaeda-type crimes like poaching or operating a powerboat in protected waters, and the evidence was usually overwhelming. Surprised Pikachu face at sentencing 100% of the time. But I declare no laws for me. Why aren't you letting me go? For the coke or the embezzling? Edit. This may be my most responded to voted post ever. Thanks for the award, you bunch of degenerates. This is what I was looking for. Something like, oh, for the drugs, the pimping, or the murders? Maybe so, but you are still in our airspace. Is this the part where you frisk me? I always love that part, ha. Be gentle, it's my first time. Shortly followed by please stop, I'm getting an erection. I can only get so erect. My nipples are alive with pleasure. I have drugs in my ass. Keep searching, they're in there somewhere. Anything you say can and will be used in a court of law, fine. Quit groping my ass, officer. No, I'm dad, gets tased. Gets shot in the head 49 times. Truly a tragic suicide story. I know you are, but what am I? A garbage man. Do you know who I am? Bonus. Do you know who my father thinks he is? The bomb in my trunk says different. Not if I arrest you first. Actually rushing and attempting to handcuff the officer. There have been a couple of incidents recently of cops from different agencies coming into conflict over jurisdiction and threatening to arrest each other. I can't help but wonder how it would go if they actually tried to. Yeah, well, that's just like, your opinion, ma'am. You'll never catch me alive, copper. They'll be all too happy to prove you correct. Sirens. All right, Clancy. Take the boys around the back and surround the house. Edit. I can't tell you how happy I am that so many people get this reference. My safe word is pineapple juice. Pull out your get-out-of-jail-free card and say, not today, my friend. Like I was under your mom last night. Thanks for bringing those handcuffs I left at your mom's place. Back. No. Pulls out Uno reverse card. What is the charge? Eating a meal. A succulent Chinese meal. Edit. Thanks for gold, kind stranger. No, I'm not. Cop here. This is the scariest answer. When people say nope or just no, it never ends well. Those folks are gonna run, fight, or just do some wild stuff. One guy said nope and immediately took off his shirt. Edit. Folks are asking what wild stuff means. Well, often a common response to you're under arrest, and I don't know why, is they start daring me to hurt them. It's usually some psychosis or drugs playing a part, but sometimes people say things like, no, I'm not. Okay, go ahead, shoot me, kill me. Then I go, dude, you have a warrant for your arrest. Please just go with the program.
No one wants to hurt you.
No one wants to hurt you.
No, you wanna taser me? Ah, it's a thing lately.
It's a common phobia. Not sure. Edit 2. The guy that took off his shirt punched me in the face. I'm over rest, baby. A nose boop. Eta, holy flocking snit. I had zero idea how much of a response this would get. Thank you all for the awards. Boops, nose, no, thank you. Drives off. When I read this, it was Alexis in Schitt's Creek whose voice I heard. You, David. After one of my first seizures, I booped the nose of the paramedic, who then looked at my wife with slight concern and asked if that was normal. He sighed, hand on his forehead, while he nodded in the affirmative. Eta, thanks for the award. It does help relieve tension, which is great in those situations. While not really the same, I have a similar story. When I was about 14, my sister had a psychotic breakdown, and since my parents didn't want me to see it, they basically sent me to the kitchen. It was horrifying because all I could hear was my sister screaming from the top of her lungs at my parents about how she wanted to die, and basically just guttural screams in the worst fits. She was also trying to bang her head in the floor, so my father had to hold her down with his arms and had his leg under her head to make sure she was unable to hurt herself. So while I started to freak out more and more due to the sound, I decided that I couldn't stand idly by anymore. I had to go out and help somehow. We had called the ambulance, so they were on the way as well. So I walked out in the hallway where my family was and saw the scene, and for some reason I took a red card I saw laying on the hallway cabinet. I was a football referee, and I walked up to my sister and showed her the red card. In a second, she snapped out of it, and she looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "What are you doing? You're an idiot. But I love you," and it was calm for just a few seconds. Then her anxiety took over, and we were back to where it started. But for that brief moment, there was peace. Random weirdness does wonders for stressed situations. If you are in a vehicle, reaching for anything in your glove box or armrest compartment or pocket is up there. You always boop a nose after surgery. What if no one is there? Do you boop your own nose?